Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and welcome back to another episode of Fast Fridays. Now, I know there are quite a few of you, probably quite a lot of you, who are new to the channel, so let me quickly go over just what Fast Fridays are. This is a series that usually happens on Fridays, sometimes it won't, sometimes it will, that focuses on 4-minute off-the-cuff commentaries. It's a short, condensed video and commentary because, let's be honest, it's Friday, the weekend is here, and you guys have a lot better things to do than sit here and listen to me talk. It's also about getting you involved, though. These are usually commentaries that will provoke some sort of a discussion that I would love to see you guys get involved with down in the comment section below. So let's kick off today's Fast Friday. We're going to talk about my worst Battlefield role. In this case, my worst role when it comes to Battlefield 1. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say about which role or roles you've struggled with the most over the years in the Battlefield franchise. It could be something that you struggled with in the open beta for BF1, something in Battlefield 4, something in Battlefield 3, something way back in the days of Battlefield 2. It does not matter. Just share your story and share your reasoning. So for me, guys, I've desperately been struggling with the scout role in Battlefield 1. Pretty much since the alpha, I've been having issues. It hasn't been a role that I've been exceptionally good at. Specifically, I think it's the fact that I'm primarily playing Battlefield on the PC for the very first time. The last time that I played Battlefield on PC was Battlefield 2. After that, with Bad Company's release, I started playing Battlefield on the console with my brother, Xbox, pretty much up until now. So I'm like relearning mouse and keyboard when it comes to sniping, which is completely different from normal shooting. You know, I can get out and do really well with something like the Che Regate or, you know, the Lewis gun, but as soon as I put a sniper rifle in my hand, I'm like, oh, what do I do, man? And I know that there are some refinements that can be made to my sensitivity and DPI, but all in all, it's all on me. And the biggest problem here is that I just need practice, but I'm one of those people who doesn't like to bring my team down by adding myself to the already extensive list of unnecessary scouts on our team or on our squad. So I don't really get that much practice put in because I just don't want to be that guy. And that's probably one of the biggest issues, right? More often than not, when you see your team getting absolutely trounced in a mode like Conquest, it's because you look at your roster and you've got like 12 scouts. Now, at the end of the day, even if all 12 of those scouts were absolute god mode, if they were all FPS Doug, boom headshotting all day long, it still wouldn't matter because you now have all those snipers replacing what could have been really high levels of firepower via any of the other classes. You know, so that's the position that I never want to find myself in. So I'm also someone who refuses to play the scout role when we already have 10 scouts on our team. I don't need to add to that miserable chaos that my team is already enduring. Now, it's pretty easy to spot as the scout. Obviously, that's not an incredibly difficult thing. Most people just choose not to do it. So I already excel in that fashion. I've been pretty good with the spotting flare, getting lots of beautiful assists with that, and even making use of the spot scope occasionally. Having a lot of fun with those two things. There's no denying that. They're pretty badass. But I think to be a really great scout, you need to have an understanding of where you need to be on the battlefield, how and where you can support your team, the ability to support your team via the spotting mechanics, but you also do need to be able to pop ahead. You need to be able to shoot a guy and kill them. If you can't support your team with firepower on top of everything else, you're just not playing at the top of your level. You're not playing that role to its maximum potential, and that's the position that I'm in right now. So practice is going to have to make perfect, but it's honestly the most I've struggled with a role pretty much ever, you know, in Battlefield. And I think maybe that's an indication that Battlefield 1 has done a really good job in setting the roles apart, making them feel very diverse, making them feel varied, and making them feel different from one another, giving them each a really, you know, a really specific role on the battlefield if you're willing to utilize that role and go beyond just killing people. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to keep playing the class and, you know, trying to step up my game and getting better with the mouse and keyboard in my free time anyways. Honestly, it's probably going to be the last class that we're going to cover when it comes to guides, so on and so forth. Speaking of which, before I leave you guys for the rest of your weekend, I've got some amazing stuff coming up in terms of Battlefield 1 content. I'm working on my very first class-specific guide. We're going to be taking a look at the Assault role, which I'm slowly finding out is one of the most difficult roles in the game for me, outside of the Sniper, when it comes to, once again, playing it to its maximum potential. Actually utilizing the Assault role as a role to eliminate armor is not an easy thing to do. So I'm really excited about this guide. Just keep an eye out for those guys. A lot of editing, a lot of gameplay recording I have to do, and of course we've got about 4 days until the early enlister start of Battlefield 1. I wanted to go ahead and give a big shout out to everyone who's subscribed to the channel, who recently subscribed, and of course all of my fine folks over on Patreon. $30 on Patreon last month, plus the money that I made on YouTube this past month, helped pay for my early enlister edition of Battlefield 1, so I could get you guys coverage as early as possible, and that is absolutely awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an outstanding weekend and a great Friday, and I will see you in the next one.